Well, a lot of people out here want to know how to get more confident. And there's a good reason why, okay? Confident people, they are more well respected, they're seen as more attractive, and generally better prospects in both work and relationships. And who wouldn't want all that? The problem is that if someone gives you the classic advice, like, look, it's simple, you just gotta be more confident, that's really unhelpful. That's very unhelpful. And the reason why is because confidence really is not a choice. It's more like a mental state. It's something that happens to us. How then do we receive confidence? People give a lot of answers. The one I'm gonna focus on here is that you can start by being more authentic in your social interactions. And that turns out to be something that you can control. I've known for quite some time that authenticity is very deeply connected with confidence. People that are being confident are more likely to also be authentic. Whereas people that are people pleasing or being fake, they're not very likely to be confident. I would know. Recovering people pleaser, I would know this. Acting authentically, unlike confidence, is a choice. And for reasons I'm going to explain, making this simple choice will make you more likely to receive confidence. Let's get started. First, let's start with some definitions. Self-confidence is a belief in one's favorable acceptance by others, or a belief in oneself and one's powers or abilities. The key word here is belief. Okay, self-confidence is believing in yourself. Confidence, it can seem a lot of times like this mysterious personality trait that some select people just seem to have. And oh my God, how are they so confident? It's really not that at all. Confidence is not related to any of the big 5 personality traits, nor the Myers-Briggs types. It's really more like a mental state. It's a belief that comes and goes depending on situation, and it's very often built up by evidence. So what is authenticity? There's how you truly feel and what you truly think, and you know what that is. And then completely separate from all of that is how you act. Authenticity is really about bringing these two things into alignment, into harmony, where your tone, your facial expressions, your body language, what you say is congruent with how you actually feel and think. It's just simply being real with people and saying what you really think, as opposed to trying to control your behavior so much to match a certain expectation or a desired outcome. You're acting in a way that's faithful to what's true for you. You're owning it. Even if it's embarrassing, even if it goes against expectations, you own that. Another example of authenticity is general disagreement. Assuming you disagree, just saying, I'm not sure I agree with that. I don't agree. Like, I didn't like that movie, no. Or, a lot of people like Game of Thrones. It's not my cup of tea, really. So excessive people pleasing or even manipulation, these are all forms essentially of lying. It's weird to think about people pleasing that way, but it is. It's being fake, in a sense. Another big component of authenticity is being vulnerable, being open about your weaknesses and your failures, and that takes courage. But the thing is that it often leads to deeper and more meaningful connections with people. The difficult thing about authenticity is that not everyone is gonna like you when you're being authentic. Authenticity is inherently polarizing. You're gonna potentially piss some people off. They may not like the real you. You're gonna push some people away. But you will attract the people that are meant to be with you. What's really interesting about authenticity is that this ability to polarize and potentially push some people away is also what makes it so attractive, because it demonstrates a willingness to push people away, which signals that you must have something, that you can afford to potentially piss some people off. So the idea is like authenticity signals to people that you don't need people so desperately. And that's really attractive. Like, what does this person have? Are they famous? Are they powerful? What do they have that they can talk like that? They can be that real. Well, if authenticity is so attractive, then why aren't we doing it all the time? Why is authenticity so hard? And the answer is that authenticity is very often at odds with our need to be accepted. A hand-wavy evolutionary argument is that in the past, If you weren't accepted by your tribe or whatever, you were risking being cast out. And that's a death sentence. You couldn't live independently like we do now. So it's really hardwired into us as humans to need social acceptance. People may tell you that, oh, I don't care about what anyone thinks. Yeah, you do. You do. Maybe not as much, but you definitely do, because you have to. I care about what y'all think. I care about what my family and friends think. I care about what some people I saw the other day that I don't even know them. I care what they thought. That's why there's this constant tension where the more you people please, they tend to be less authentic. The more authentic you become, the more you're risking not being accepted. And a lot of us have gone too much to this side, where it's almost like a survival, strategy, where we're too concerned with trying to make sure that we're accepted and not allowing ourselves to be authentic more. And that's causing severe mental problems. Authenticity can sometimes be dangerous if you're living in an oppressive political regime. Maybe authenticity is not the way to go because you could be executed. I don't know. But going back to my main thesis here, confidence, very much like happiness, is not a choice. It has to be received. But authenticity, on the other hand, is a choice. And my idea here is that by choosing that consistently, you will make yourself more confident, both in the short term of like this interaction and in the long term as you develop. And I've seen some amazing transformations with people. You can learn this. Authenticity is not a personality trait either. Let's unpack the reasons why authenticity might lead to confidence. Confidence is really often based on evidence, right? When you're learning to drive a car, you're not very confident. You don't have a lot of evidence that you won't crash. But as you gain more evidence behind the wheel, more experience, you start to build up confidence. Oh yeah, I can do this now. When you're authentic with people and you get a good response, like, yeah, dude, respect. You said what you really thought and you got a good response. That helps you build up this evidence that the real you will be accepted. Oh, I said what I actually thought and they didn't reject me. It's okay. Whereas if you are being people pleasing, you're not showing the real you. You don't have that opportunity to have that evidence. You don't have even an opportunity to see any evidence that they might accept the real you. When people respond positively to your authentic self, it has a way of boosting your self-esteem, which then boosts your confidence. Reason 2, this is very profound. Authenticity is fundamentally an act of self-respect, of honoring yourself and what's true for you. See, authentic actions, they signal to both yourself and to others that you have value, that your opinion matters, that is worthy of being said. In contrast, the more that you people please, the more that you're sacrificing your own needs and betraying yourself, really. This starts to erode your self-esteem. If you don't think highly of yourself, how can you be confident then? Right? I use the example of you wouldn't share a bad book or a bad movie with your friends. It wouldn't make any sense. In the same way, if I suck, why would I introduce myself to you? Why would I bring something bad to you people? Reason number 3, authenticity really is a state of openness with the world. You're exposing yourself to the world of how you really think and feel. And that means that you can no longer hide. There's something about not being able to hide that kind of forces you to embrace who you are. This is me now, and really be confident in that. Authenticity is kind of like holding a boombox or wearing a really loud piece of clothing and going out. You're going to draw more attention. People are going to be like, what's this person doing there? Like, wow. You can no longer hide in that situation. You have to step into the role of someone who would be wearing that. Try this. Seriously, it works. If you go out, you will find that you have to let go of caring what people think real quick. And that's a big part of confidence. And the 4th reason, authenticity has a way of putting you back in control of your own life. When you can rest assured that your boundaries will never be violated because you're going to authentically express your needs, that makes you much more fearless going into social interactions. So for example, I'm going to go to this party later. This is not real. I'm saying hypothetically, I'm going to go to this party, but I'm only gonna stay for 2 hours because then I gotta get up early the next day. And I don't care if they want me to stay or whatever. I'm gonna say, well, it's time for me to go, folks. Bye. Nice party. Goodbye. You know, you will be so much more confident going into social interactions when you know ahead of time that you will assert your boundaries and your needs authentically. We're going to end by talking about how to be more authentic in practice. Authenticity is really about consistently embodying your state and your values. If someone's talking to you, maybe they're talking to you, like I'm talking to you right now, you're hearing lots of things right now that you probably want to say. Like, hear those things and then really practice letting more of the truth out, taking a little bit more risk, let's say. Even if you might think it's weird or whatever, in every interaction, you make this a habit where you practice letting out a little bit more of what you actually think. And gradually, you'll start poking more and more holes in this barrier that's holding everything in. Authenticity is not a personality trait. It can be developed over time. I was at the beach one time and I was just playing with the sand like a child, right? I put my hand down in the sand and I started drizzling some sand over the handprint to erode it. And I thought that was really cool. And I was like, I'm gonna go tell this person about this. Authentically, that was what was cool for me at the time, even though I thought it was also a bit weird and kooky to say. And I showed them this and they burst out laughing. They thought it was hilarious. Try that more often. You'll be surprised how people react. People generally really appreciate authenticity. Another thing is to do an authenticity assessment. So ask yourself after every interaction, did I express myself or did I censor myself? And the answer to that question will determine the success of the interaction, if you want to call it. And you'll find that you do it to varying degrees with different people. And even later on, after the interaction, you can ask, how could I have expressed myself more authentically? What would have been the more authentic thing to say? Another goal is to try to be as relaxed as possible with these new people as you are with your closest friends. It's hard. That's also a process of letting go. These ideas were just things that came up in my research. You know, there's probably many more reasons why authenticity could lead to confidence. Please leave in the comments any ideas that you had, no matter how small or how critical it is, because that has an opportunity to both teach me and to teach other people. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you all next time. Peace out.